Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today's the Pinstripe Crochet Blanket. This is an easy level blanket and this is using quite an easy texture to be able to master. What you're looking at is 10 rows of one color, the main color, and then 2 rows of a secondary color. Now if you go onto this pattern through the more information of this video, you will find that this pattern has a color play tool, meaning that you can change the color on screen to whatever colors that you most prefer. You can change the main color, you can change the stripes, you can change both. And therefore you can see what your project would look like in advance if you had certain colors. So that's a nice little new application from yarnspirations.com. We hopefully that you enjoy it. Let me show you a little diagram I made just to make this a little bit easier for you to understand. So this pattern works out basically on multiples of 2. So whatever is an even number is going to work out for you. As we begin then row number 1, we're going to go second chain from the hook and we're going to put in a single crochet. The next one will be double, single, double, single, and you keep doing that. The last one, if your count is right, should always be a single crochet. And the reason for that is that every time that you're going to finish this round, our row, we want to be able to start up and do it properly. So what we need to do is that we need to continue and build up on the second row. So you chain up 3, which is the opposite of the single crochet that's here, and then the next one will be single, and then the next one will be double. So see how it's sitting opposite to each other, and you do that all the way back across. Of course you're going to do this in stitch work. So your last stitch that you will have will be a double crochet, and make sure, because look at this, this is a double crochet, chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so they're completely even on each side. So when you start up the next row it'll be just chain 1 single crochet and then it will be double, so it's again opposite to what is sitting below it. You're gonna be able to identify these stitches in the long term. For me, I'm a seasoned crocheter. I can actually figure this out pretty quickly, and it's something that you can understand. So these 2 rows that you see are gonna be completely repeating with each other, and then you're gonna do 10 rows of the main color and then 2 rows of the secondary color, number A, in order to get the pinstripe look. So let's begin on our project. The pattern calls for a 9mm size M crochet hook, and we're using Bernat blanket yarn for today's yarn of choice. Just for demonstration reasons I'm using an 8mm size L crochet hook just to be transparent. So I told you that this stitch pattern works in multiples of 2. So you can either go 106 like it suggests, but if you'd like to change the size just keep it an even number. So I'm just gonna do an even number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So go, I have an even number now, go to the size that you want and then meet me back here in just a moment. For those that are carrying on, you're gonna go second chain from the hook. So what I want you to do is just count back. So 1 and 2, turn it and get the back hump of that chain, and I want you to single crochet. Once you get the first one turned over, the whole chain will turn over for you. Single crochet. The next chain and the next back hump is going to be a double crochet. So you're just gonna keep alternating those 2 stitches back between each other. So the next one is a single, and then the next one is a double. Okay, a single and a double. So you do that all the way down your chain, and if your count is right you should end up on this particular row that your last one will be a single crochet. So if you start off with the single crochet to begin with, your last stitch should be a single crochet. So this is my last stitch, it's going to be a single crochet. So let's turn our work. So rows number 2 and 3 are gonna be the repeat pattern. So I finished off with a single crochet, therefore I have to chain 3 to start. That's my first double crochet, and then this one, the next one, is going to be a single. So the single is sitting on top of the double. Okay, and now the next one is a double. Now the way that I look at it, and you'll see it in time, this, see how this kinda looks a lot more compressed? That looks like a double, so therefore it'll be a single. And this one looks a little more sparse, therefore it's a single, so it must be a double on top. Even if you just did single double, if you can identify what you're looking at, it just makes it easier. So we have a single and a double. and then a single, and then the last stitch is a double. Now we started off with chain 3 on that round, so therefore the last one should be a double crochet. So turning up our work, let's turn again. So this was a double, so chain up 1 and then you just do a single crochet to keep it opposite, and then the other one. Do you see the difference? See how this looks more compact? So that's a double, this is a single. So when it's a single, there's a double that's on top, and then single and double. I promise you in time that you won't have to really think about it too hard. You just naturally doing it. Right now I can chat with you and actually just do the motions of making sure that it's the right stitches going in. So the last stitch was a single. Turning our work, so if the last one was a single, you chain up 3 and then single into the next, and then double, single, double, and do that all the way down. So all you're just going to do is 10 rows of this, and then you change out your color and you make it and then 2 rows of the pin striping that you have, and this gives you the texture that you see. It makes it more dense as well. So if you don't like the pesky lines of double crochet that happens in projects, this is a great way to go, and you'll have the texture at the same time. So just change out your color. If you want to see how to change out your color, all you're just going to do is that I'm just gonna use a different layer of yarn. If you want to change out your color, so say you wanted to get rid of it now, you can just trim this and finish it. Okay, so you're gonna turn and go back in the other direction. So I'm using the wrong gauge of a Bernat blanket. I'm using the pet yarn here. I just want to show you for demonstrations. So the last one here was a double crochet, so therefore this has to be a single. So you just join it. Okay, you got 2 loops there, pull through, and therefore there's your first single. Leave your 2 stragglers down on top, and so the next one will be a double. Go right up over top of those stragglers to keep those in play, and then the next one's a single and double, and I would do at least 2 inches of covering that over top, and then continue, and then once you're satisfied just let it fall to the back, and then just finish it off as you normally would. And so you're gonna do 2 rows of the secondary color, and then just change it back then to the main colors to turn. So chain up 3. So I'm using the different gauge of Bernat blanket here, that's why it's not as thick. And then you come back and then you switch it back to the other color once you're satisfied with that. Isn't that neat? So you can get your neat little pin stripes. If you want your stripes to be more dominant, then you can just add them more into it. Just note that the pattern is suggesting the pin stripes are where they are, and you will change the yarn quantities when you go to do that. So once you're satisfied, just pull up on these strings that you tucked underneath, and then you can safely just cut those out of the way, and they should be good to go. So that would be how to complete the Bernat pinstripe crochet blanket, and it's a pretty awesome idea, and I think it's really neat, and there's no border associated to this pattern. So that's it for now. Have a good one. Bye bye.